Yeah, this is reality. This article is really out there right now. I'm not making this up. This is not a mock or a joke article. This is real. It's real life. Guys, Final Death Star. And today I bring an article that I can't even believe as I'm reading it from yahoo.com. Let's cancel kids' Star Wars Stormtrooper costumes. That's right. Canceling the Stormtrooper costumes. We're going to get rid of them. The kids are going insane with this Stormtrooper stuff. So this is the article. This Halloween, you will doubtlessly open your door to a kid in a Stormtrooper costume pointing a blaster rifle at your head. Legions of Imperial and First Order Stormtroopers will certainly appear, demanding candy from behind very iconic and recognizable helmets. And while it's nice to think that these kids are costumed as the heroic Finn or even Luke and Han disguised as stormtroopers, the reality is most kids who are stormtroopers for Halloween are just dressing up as stormtroopers. First of all, how would you know that? How would you know that? How would you know that that's not someone who wants to be Finn or Luke or Han? I had the little figures back in the 80s, and it was a Han Solo dressed as a stormtrooper. How do you know that they don't want to dress like that? This fact is a little bit scary, mostly because collectively, the culture doesn't want to think about this fact. But we should. Having kids dressing up as stormtroopers for Halloween is icky. Icky. Mostly because stormtroopers have horrific counterparts, both in history and in everyday headlines. And then it goes on to talk about how historically stormtroopers are related to World War II and Nazis. It's basically saying if your kid wants to dress up as a stormtrooper, he just may be a Nazi. I mean, this is the insanity. You're trying to bring real-world politics and real-world history into a galaxy far, far away. But it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It's Halloween. You're ruining Halloween for children by canceling stormtrooper costumes? Oh my gosh, it's just insane. So why are we all okay with this? The article asks. In 2016, the Death Trooper costume from Rogue One was gleefully sold by Disney Store, which is fine in theory because Death Troopers and Stormtroopers are make-believe. But the popularity of these costumes relative to other Star Wars costumes is a little unsettling. I mean, basically, these guys look like they're wearing space-age riot gear. What do you mean in relation to relative to other Star Wars costumes? Because no one's wanting to dress as Rey? People choose the Stormtrooper costume because it's cool, it looks cool. That's pretty much it. A little kid who's dressing up as a Stormtrooper is not doing it because they're trying to, reenact a World War II Nazi fantasy. Like, what do we have here? Oh, look at this. They just happen to throw in Ivanka Trump with their kid here who's dressed as a First Order trooper. I mean, now I'm just assuming you have a bias here, and you're saying this isn't politically motivated, this article? The appeal of wanting to get into some kind of uniform for Halloween, whether it be the Ghostbusters uniform or a Starfleet uniform from Star Trek, the idea of conformity is very popular for children, specifically when it comes to fantasy. This is at the core of why kids love fantasy of donning a Stormtrooper helmet or Kylo Ren mask. They can escape into another world. Again, when you boil it down to just playing pretend, a kid dressing up as a Stormtrooper might be no less damaging than a kid dressing up as a fairy princess. Let me ask you this. You don't think it could be damaging emotionally for a kid to dress up as a fairy princess? I mean, basically you're having this view that everything's roses, the whole world loves you, everything works out in the end. You just have to sing a little song, talk to some birds flying around your head, and everything's going to work out just fine. That can be damaging, very emotionally damaging to a child. So please don't use the fairy princess as an example. Except there is a fundamental difference in the narrative of Star Wars stormtroopers, which are just blindly following orders, and their orders are always about mass execution. They represent a police state. And in that world, following orders is the only way to live. Stormtroopers kill people with laser guns who challenge the status quo. That is the narrative function, and this is the message they send when you see them. So when kids are walking around on Halloween knocking on doors asking for candy, they're sending a message that they would kill you with their laser guns because they're just following orders. Skipping down here, it says having kids dress up as monsters on Halloween is kind of what Halloween's all about. But having kids dress up as thinly veiled police state executioners is something else. Yeah, this is reality. This article is really out there right now. I'm not making this up. This is not a mock or a joke article. This is real. It's real life. The fantasy element to Stormtroopers isn't really that fun. If anything, their presence in Star Wars is the scariest thing about the entire franchise. That's right. It's not the fact that Anakin Skywalker slaughtered a bunch of children who just wanted to learn the Force. No, that's not the scariest thing. And then went on to become the most ruthless mass murderer in the galaxy's history. No. It's Stormtroopers. Kids dressing up as Stormtroopers. That's the scariest thing. I happen to believe that for the most part, Star Wars is a fairly anti-gun series of films, despite the fact that several guns... See, now here we go. Now you're bringing in the gun control to this argument. Overall, the message of these movies is against gun violence instead of glorifying it. And yet, what would a stormtrooper on Halloween be without his blaster? The answer? Much less scary. And what about zombies? I mean, Dracula, Frankenstein. It does mention here... I think I skipped it because this article is ridiculous, but it does mention here. Here we go. See, it says, at least Kylo Ren and Darth Vader are individuals. Like Dracula or Frankenstein monster, Darth Vader and Kylo Ren or Boba Fett are scary characters. Hey, Rey even calls Kylo Ren a monster in The Force Awakens. So basically it's saying, as long as you're an individual, you can be a blood-sucking, soulless creature of the night. As long as it's individual, it's fine. But what about zombies? I mean, do you have a problem with zombies? Because they're pretty much just mindless, driven by one thought only. They are not individuals. They all pretty much work together in this kind of hive mentality of, brains. So what about them? Do you have a problem with that too? You better. If you're going to take this out on stormtroopers, you better take this out on zombies too. And I will be damned if I let you do that. Let me know what you think. It's crazy. This is a real article. They're trying to cancel stormtrooper outfits for children on Halloween. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching very much. I appreciate it. Just continue to grow this channel with your support. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and until next time, lock the doors, and hope they don't have blasters.